Hi everyone. Today we're hanging out with Joe Hoskins, and he's got some amazing stuff he found in the Solomon Islands. And today he's got a video, and we're going to share it. Hey Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, but you probably can't see me. But I've got the old screen zoomed in here to show these cool things that I found underwater offshore. And what I think they are, I believe these are underwater pyramids. This is a giant complex, and I tried to show this wide shot so that you could see just kind of. It's not just one thing. And then if you zoom in on some of these, you can even start seeing details here, and you can tell that these are sometimes they're big heads, believe it or not.
Wow.
And I'll show you what I mean about that. This one down here, for instance, you can see these two eyes, and this is a big head. But what it is they turn this into a building, you see. And so this is part of a complex, and you can see these corners and these things. And this is part of a huge complex underwater. So this thing stood above, you can see here, this almost looks like a dragon head here. But this would be a fantastic scene to behold, but it's just been taken by the sea. Here, what I can see is a head of a creature. This wouldn't be a human, but this is what you see. They're super big fans of the head, giant heads. And so this was something I found just offshore in the Solomons, and of course there's islands everywhere there. But if you pay attention, what drew me was this light actually. And to me, this really could be an indication of energy coming from these pyramids. I can't imagine a reason why these would reflect so much sunlight underwater. It's important to understand these are underwater. And so I can't imagine why those things would reflect sunlight like that
And be so bright.
and be so bright. Here you can see this. I don't know if you can perceive this big old head here, but there's a head I see here with two eyes.
Yeah.
And again, this is a recurring theme always, and there are in fact details all back in here that kind of fade away. But this is just one of the shots where you can see, well, here, like this big, here you see this triangular temple. This is almost like a walkway up. This is the kind of stuff that you would see in any kind of mega complex. But what I see about this that's disturbing to me are some of the images here. They're images that I can see here, and they're not good generally. I can see an image here of a face here. And what these can be sometimes are little stone temple things with these heads at the top. But there's some interesting images that I'm seeing in there that these are hard to see, but they're there. Could do some enhancement on this picture and bring those out. But I wanted to get this little
That's
find.
amazing.
Well, it's incredible. It's I mean, I don't know how many. If you called these pyramids, which is what they look like, they have things at the top, and there are these faces attached, like that one I'm looking at here. Let me see if I can get where that is. I'm on this. Where was I? Over here.
Oh wow.
I was trying to see. There was one I was looking at, and I can't get to it. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is this is a pretty big, amazing thing here.
Looks like a dragon on that one or something, Joe.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Well, what's for sure is it's not natural. It's not normal. You know, this is made. This is a construction. And why it's glowing orange, well, you know, that's a story in itself, in my estimation. Why are these things showing up like this? And now the other part is this. They put a fuzz filter on this. They know these are here, and so they're not wanting you to see the details. That's why they look this fuzzy. But they are still there. Let's see what else we can. If I can get to the next picture.
So you think they might be crystal or something, Joe? And reflecting the sunlight, or?
I think they might be emitting energy. Something like that. This is a new picture from the Solomons. And
I see the giants already in there.
Yeah, well, you can, what's interesting to me is this whole orange business here and what that is, you know. And then also to me is this, oh crap, what happened? Oh, I knew.
Oh.
Oh, did it die? Why are you doing? Oh, dude, there it went. Swing and a miss.
Is it coming back?
No, it's dead, dude. It doesn't.
You want me to pause us?
You gotta pause us.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to back up and punt on this thing.
Okay, guys, we're back. We had to fix a couple things. Sorry about the inconvenience. Joe's battery on a thing went out, so he sent me the pictures, and I'm going to show the pictures and zoom in, and Joe's going to be over there talking to you guys. So we fixed our problem. There's always a way. So here we go. I'm going to get back to that picture, Joe.
Figured out a way to do it. So this is awesome picture here.
Hold on. Let me get lined up and bam.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, that's a pretty good example. And what I was looking at was all that pink looking stuff, which is apparently all archaeology and just statuary. You can see that big giant head and that face there.
Sorry, Joe. I just noticed that those giants right there, those big ones right there.
Yeah.
Look at them. Oh, look at the detail in the head and the arm and the hand going. He's like touching his mouth, the one in the back. You see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're obviously hanging about this place, which is, you can see has those fantastic mud fossil heads and stuff there in pink, but the live beings hanging out there might be the real story.
See if I can try to get some of that pink. I'll back up.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see structure down in there.
Yeah, that's what, and you can see these beings there. There's some beings just clearly.
Major.
What it looks like to me. It's just amazing when you start looking at the detail of what's there. When you look at that
this guy, Joe.
Huh?
Look at these ones. Look at these giants. Look, you can see his legs. He's got his legs spread, like how you hop on a horse. Look at his arms, and you see an axe or something in his hand. You see the giant I'm talking about in the center of the screen?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
You're pretty close on him.
Wow.
You're pretty close.
Amazing, Joe. Look at them all standing there.
Yeah, it's so hard to imagine that there can be people, but there they are. And they're at these places. This is way out of the way, way up in the mountains. No people around here. And that is archaeology there. Those are like pyramidic structures, stuff that it's ancient yet futuristic. Like you can tell that it's very old, but it has a futuristic look to it, which tells you it's not made by cavemen. It's not a prehistoric mound builder race doing this. This is a race of people who are highly advanced. And the fact that they could achieve this kind of architecture is testament to that, you know. Yeah, and what you notice is those are faces, every one of them. And from a distance, you'd swear they're trees, you know, because they're the size of trees. That's why you would. And the color, too. But I just report to you this: if you were a giant and you knew you had to blend in, would you end up looking green and kind of trying to be a tree? Whether they are or not, this may be a form of camouflage, you know. And it's a dull, dark, all those dark colors, all that dark area, those are dark robes. They're dark. They wear these dark things so that they can't be seen, you know, so that from a distance they just look like a shadow. But you can always see their heads normally, you know. Yeah, that's amazing stuff, dude. Scanning through there, those big, is that a big giant there? That could be an enormous giant, that big dark figure. I'm telling.
Looks like an eye on it, too.
Yeah, well, you
sometimes
see...
eyes glow on them big
there's
ones.
a big giant standing there. You've seen some weird giants there, man. There's a very human-looking person, along with some non-human-looking people. And unfortunately, that's what it is, you know. And of course, that's hard to swallow. It's hard to understand that. We understand that it's hard to realize, but there is truth about it, and there are the pictures. And those things aren't made up. There's nothing in it for us. I don't know how much you know about doing giant research, but everybody in the world hates it. You know, So if you're looking to get rich, this is not the business to be in, you know. But what we're just looking to do is just tell the truth. And so we found some amazing evidence here. Now that's interesting.
There's all that white you were talking about, the structures and stuff in there.
Yeah, that's not. It's not a. It's a construction or a leftover creature. I found that a lot. I found some giant dragons there that they had actually made these temples on and this kind of thing. So that's kind of hard to believe, but they do that, you know. You'll find these ancient petrified creatures that they carved temples into, literally, you know. And it's kind of amazing. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Giants up here, Joe, if I can get them. Look at these giants up in there.
Yeah, standing against that mountainside.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at all that detail of that architecture. What that is architecture, man. Like if you're an archaeologist, that is gold for you. That is stuff of a lifetime. When you see that, try to hold it still, man, on some of that architecture.
It's so hard. Oh.
And right there. That's just amazing, man. You're doing a good job, though, dude. We're getting some really good pictures here. Some amazing stuff. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. You could look at that guy there.
I know, you can see his arm and everything. Oh, I'm losing it. I gotta go. Hold on, let me vice my other arm, because I really seen some stuff in there. Oh, I'm losing it. Damn. There it is, somewhere in there.
It's hard to get, man. When it gets a minute and pulls focus there, it's like...
Look at...
It's hard. I was seeing some good stuff there, though.
Oh yeah! Wow, that's amazing, Joe. That's an amazing picture. That's makes me wonder. You know, in that white, that really lights up down here, really big time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's real
There's stuff
bright.
all in there. All of that stuff that you perceive to be. There's some kind of large thing there in the middle. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm seeing some big kind of ogre-like creatures there.
In here?
No, actually, well, one thing I'm trying to figure out is that dark shape. Go to the right there a little. What is that thing? This whole area, yeah. What is that? Like,
Looks
why
like a
would that
hand
show
right
up?
there.
I don't know why that would show up so dark because, I mean, you got to, and this is the part that bothers me about these dark shapes. You look at this shot, it's in extreme bright sunlight. There should be details of everything, but what you'll notice is these dark shapes, it's very hard to make the details out.
Oh man, that looks like a giant, Joe, standing there with his arm pointing in his head.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can hold the camera and point it. Probably not. Head
Getting some.
comes down. His arms are coming out. His hands over here. It goes down to his waist.
See that now that you say it.
Now you start to see the leg shape with the grooves in the body and the arm and all that. If you look at it for a minute.
Well, then sometimes you can see just a normal flesh tone of a person. Their skin looks a certain color, and that shows up. And then sometimes they're just a completely different color. I found blue giants, green giants, black giants, brown giants, hairy giants, all kinds of giants. There's no cutoff on that deal. They can just look cartoon. There you can see some big ones standing. They can
it
look
looks
cartoon.
like that one giant's got a spear in his hand.
Yeah. We do find them a lot with weapons.
Right here, man. Looks like a spear in his hand. Going up. Look at it when I move.
Yeah.
Yep, it's going right across his arm. The one behind it, you can see the legs gapped open. Amazing. Look at this one.
And you can imagine in a world of giants, that big giant spear might be a handy weapon, you know, in the giant world, you know. That's pretty crazy. That's some good looking stuff there. Those are some huge faces and some pyramidic structures there. This is a repeating theme. These small pyramids, I don't know.
Amazing.
We find them a lot. Pyramids seem to be another part of the picture here in megaliths. Certainly, this could be classified as a megalith. What it is a giant ancient structure that can't be explained, and the technology it would take to build that, and where this is built. Look at that. That, friends, is a large temple.
And you can
Jaguar-like temple.
You can see the square door opening right here. It's kind of square with the green growing over it.
Amazing. That's amazing stuff right there. And that's some National Geographic guide be getting his camera out over that stuff. And but that's not their discovery. That's our discovery. Yep. And isn't that awesome? Yeah, isn't it fun to find stuff like that? And you think, oh, there's nothing in the mountains. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't believe that. These islands, man, hold some extremely amazing secrets, and this is clearly testament to that, or you wouldn't be seeing this type of stuff in the mountains.
That's so bright right here, man. Look how bright it is. And the color.
If you look right in the middle of the picture, those are statuary, I believe. And it's amazing. There are creatures and things there that are clearly nothing to do with humanity. But there they are. If you move up a little, you go up just a little. Let me see. We're right there in the middle. You see that thing that looks like a creature just sitting with its leg crossed there or something? I don't know what that is. But it's this is some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's
There's
wild.
a giant, this giant face at the top left of that, or my top left, is crazy. There's just some amazing stuff in here. And if you take time to, again, look at the details, and if you can get it clear enough, the hardest thing is to get a clear picture like this, you know. This is a relatively clear satellite picture, about as good as you're going to get. They're not going to give you anything fantastic. They could, believe me, but they're not going to. Because of this very thing here. They're thinking you're not intelligent enough to find this in a picture, you know. And of course, for many people, they're right. But we just look critically at things, and we pay attention to details. And I find when you do that, you make discoveries. And that's it.
Looks like a giant carrying a log.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yeah.
Look at it. Looks like he's holding a log, that creature.
Yeah.
It might be something else, but I'm thinking log because maybe they're building. Maybe that's what that is. Look at this.
I just wonder what that is made out of. All this bright looking structures, that's clearly a different material, you know, which is, again, testament of someone being there and bringing a different material, or this is carved from something in the ground, is another possibility. It's amazing that it's so light colored to me, though. Back up off it a little. I'm getting kind of a blurry shot.
Wow, look at how bright that is.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gold. If that's all made out of gold down there.
I don't think so. I don't think it looked like that. Gold looks exactly like gold. I mean, it looks yellow, shiny.
On my TV, it's gold looking. On my TV, it's really gold, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you never know, dude. You never know. Stranger things have happened. I don't know what that material is. I have a friend who is a gemologist, and he's an expert. And but it's hard for me to ask him through a picture what something is, you know. But he would look at it for me, you know. He's a friend of mine.
Amazing, man. That is just
amazing.
That's
some amazing stuff, dude.
That's amazing, Joe.
You've got some amazing stuff going there.
It's
what else?
Your stuff. Okay, here we go. Next. You ready for this one?
What's the next one look like?
Wow.
What did I send? It's untelling. Well, now, isn't that interesting? Wow. What are these things? What is that thing? Like, what is that? You know, that's like a triangle head thing. I don't know what that is. A thing with a bird head? Crazy. Wow. You can see that big old head there. And I'm measuring. Okay, I know what it is. I'm measuring a big old head, or a big old thing there. It's 8 meters. I think that's a big old head. And there's a being standing beside it there, clearly, with a big old crazy looking head. I don't know what that thing is. That thing covering its face like with its claw. Damn, that's weird. And this giant being with a big round head there and the glasses.
Structure or something. Look at all those logs, man. You see them? Or whatever?
I don't know, man. I don't know what those. I'm seeing some weird beings. Do you see that big being there wearing the glasses? That's got a big light bulb head right in the middle of the picture.
Uh-huh.
Got a head like a light bulb, but it looks like he's wearing glasses.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's like, and that's the kind of thing where you would think, well, there's no way that could be a real creature. But when I see a big something wearing glasses, I mean,
see a lot of big giants in there, Joe.
Yeah.
A lot of them. There's a lot of big giants in this one.
And the thing is, what's weird is, dude, you see so many in a shot. You know, that dude there. You see so many of them, though, crammed together. Like, it's almost like they're trying to stay together. They feel like if they huddle together, maybe they won't be seen as much or something.
Or it's a tribe of them.
It's weird, dude.
Maybe that's their way of staying safe or something.
Yeah.
Fighting the other giants.
That's some amazing shots. Do you know, I hadn't considered that could be made out of gold, but
it's real shiny on my TV, man. I just don't get it. And I've seen it, and you can see. You can see when you get in there. That I don't think. This looks like logs. It looks like tree logs. Look at, they're long. They look like tree logs, like it's a structure. Looks like it's some sort of structure, man.
What tree log would come off that color?
Yeah, you're right. That too, though.
It would look dark.
True.
It would just look dark.
Even if they skinned it, even if they skinned it over time, you think it would darken up.
It would darken over time.
So what is it? Because it's long. It's a lot of it's straight. So it's like, okay, what is that?
Indeed. I mean, but now, unfortunately,
some sort of structure. I mean, even look at this one. You can see. You can see
it's
the
a giant
square.
Yeah, it's a temple complex with a big square.
Another looking window looking square. It looks like some kind of temple structure.
Yeah, that's an amazing shot there. That's some stuff going on there, man.
Look at that. That's wild. And it almost looks like a skull right here.
Yeah.
Eye, another eye, nose, and the mouth area.
Yeah, that looks like a big head at the bottom there.
You see it now? Yeah.
I'm out of the picture right now.
It's like it's a skull that's embedded in that structure, man. Oh,
look down below that light blue looking skull at the bottom of the picture. Go down a little bit. Go down. That thing. See that?
Right there.
What's that blue-green looking thing?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Holy crap. That just looks like a hateful face, man. It looks like King Kong's face over there in the corner.
I'm just amazed because when you go in with the camera like this, it's like you start to see even more. Oh, wow,
well, you start noticing the details, you know, of and that's what's important. That's what tells the story. You get the context, you know.
Yup.
You can see, like, what are they all doing? Like, what are these giants all doing? Like, what is this thing they're at? They're like at a function or doing something. But what is that, you know? And
yeah, that's amazing. Man,
that's a pretty cool shot, man. I have to admit, I caught some cool ones on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What else you got? You got anything else? One more good one?
Oh yeah.
I've seen some weird ones. I remember.
Bam.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, what are those guys? I see those giants standing there on the left. Real good pictures of some giants. Yeah, see, look at that stuff. That is, again, I don't know what to call it. It looks like these big complexes, man. This is something where you're staying a while. You know, this ain't no thrown up in a minute temporary structure. Look at that.
Oh, I see the nails on that giant over there. That's one of those hairy ones, man. Right at the top of the screen, those are his nails coming down. I don't know if I can point it out. All right in here, these are nails. These are the hairy giants standing here, Joe. Right here. I have pictures of them on my friend's camera, and you can see the nails do the same thing on the pictures. I just don't know if you can get in good. But look, we'll start to see detail in them.
Look here.
I'm seeing detail in that. Look at down
go to
there.
The bottom.
Now, do you see that it looks like claws and nails going in? And this
That's
is
hard
an
for me
arm
to
going
see.
up.
It's hard for it to pull focus that close.
Look at the skulls right there. Skulls in the middle of the screen. Do you see them? Afterward, we'll go back and you watch the show and you'll see there's skulls all right in here. 1, 2. Oh my God, where am I? I wish I could touch that with my finger to show everybody. Right in here.
Yeah.
Okay, watch when I move my finger.
Those are hard to make out, but I see what you're saying, yeah.
Look at that one right there. I'm going to put them in the center of the screen.
Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit and let me see the whole shot a little more.
Giants.
I saw some stuff over on the left, actually. I want you to look at the left of the picture. My left, it would be this other corner. Yeah, there. Right there. That corner. Zoom in on that. Zoom in. Don't get up higher in the top, in the corner of the picture. We're at the very corner. See that right there? Boy, it's hard to get there in there. Look at that for a second.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see all them dudes hanging out.
I see heads. I see one. This guy's got his mouth open. Real big giant. That's crazy. I see weapons in some of their hands.
Yeah. Some of them, man, just look like monsters, and then some of them look human. You can see some giants standing around there, you know. It's just crazy. There's one's big head sticking up. And you got to realize we're looking at a satellite picture. If you can see these beings, they are enormous. There's some beings right there in the right-hand side. Those things are enormous, you know. That is crazy, dude. Wow. That's amazing. Look at that crystal looking stuff. I found crystal stuff. Look at that. That looks like a crystal skull right there in the middle of the shot, actually. At the bottom, that right there, that boom, right there. It's real close to a crystal skull. I found some of those before, and I would not be shocked by that. But they're always amazing when you find one. That is incredible shot there. With just a whole lot going on. None of that is, all of that is archaeology, really. None of that is like wasted. I mean, there's some trees, and of course there's some foliage, but man, you can't see this stuff. If you're an archaeologist, man, hey, what do you think of that? Because I know what it is, but do you? And that's what I'm saying. You know, what we're saying is we're finding things that are just amazing, and it's time that someone takes a look at it, you know. And no, we're not accredited archaeologists. We're just researcher explorers, but this is how the work gets done. And what we're finding here is way compelling enough to look at. I'm smart enough to know that. So this is amazing stuff, man. Awesome. Being able to get a picture of that and being able to perceive it, you know, it's easy to go by that and miss it, you know. Awesome stuff, brother.
Amazing,
What
Joe.
a go.
Amazing.
What's
finds.
our time at?
We have one more here.
Okay, you give me something, brother. There's some good ones on there.
I see the lines in this again. Maybe this is a structure looking straight down at. I don't know. But it's pretty funny that the trees are ringed out around it like they're gone. You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah.
Temple, I don't know. Pyramid temple.
This one's
I don't
hard
know.
to see. It's not in as good a focus, but this is generally how they do when there's something good. And as you can see, what's in the middle of that picture? It's a big old head or a big old something.
I see it. Yep, you're right. I'm trying to get in there.
Can you back up on that? What is that? Holy crap. To me, it came off like a giant monster face or something, or like a with a crown, or I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy looking.
And then there, that seems to look like a face.
Yeah.
This is what kills me about this stuff. A lot of these things, you dissect it, and it becomes another form of art to look at. But when you view it from a certain distance, it's a different piece of art. What it's indicative of is a extremely high form of art. It's not, when you can look at a piece of art, and I'm sure there's a word for it, from 20 different angles and get 20 different things, that's pretty amazing. And it's that way by design. It's not by accident, you know? And again, it speaks to the level of intelligence here. What are you looking at? Oh, yeah, dude, that is a being. Wow. A big giant alien head dude there, real looking guy. Wow.
Look at his
Standing
arms.
there.
Look at his arms
that's
coming
his hand.
down.
Yeah, that's his head, boy. Man, that's spooky. And you seeing a giant, and then again, we've seen giant aliens, man. There it is. I'm going to just say it. There are these things out here that look like giant aliens.
Maybe this
Right
is a
along
crystal.
with the giant.
Look, maybe these are crystals or something, Joe. Look at the points.
Yeah.
Or pyramids. Look at the
There's
point.
always something about the crystal, man.
Look at how shiny it is, and look at the points.
Yeah.
On the whitish ones. Look at that.
Yeah.
They're pointy. I mean, I don't know.
Did I not send you a picture of that crystal tower I found? Did I? You need to look, man. That's worth looking at. If you pulled that up, it'd be crystal clear. Oh, listen, huh? A joke there, but it really would be.
Look at that. Amazing, Joe. Amazing, man.
What else did I send? Anything else cool?
No, it goes back to the pyramids. Back to the pyramids.
Pyramids are good. Found a bunch of those. It's a repeating theme there, and that's not a shocker. Find them everywhere. Find them in America. Find them in Alaska. Find them in Antarctica. I found them in all those places. Let's see. Alaska, have I found any? I don't want to tell a lie. Maybe I haven't found any in Alaska. Or did I? I can't remember. That's bad. I should know that. But I found a lot of pyramids, man. A whole lot. Like way more than you can imagine.
Man.
Well, like today, we showed about 8 or 10 underwater ones there that are just absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
And And that's not all of them. I mean, that's some in the series that I found just in that area, which is incredible. You know, why is nobody talking about those? Why am I talking about them and not National Geographic? And why are we not watching a show about somebody diving on those pyramids?
Yep.
Because they don't want to talk about it, or they've not been discovered, one or the other. Probably the first one, you know?
You're right.
because they're fuzzed out in the picture. They fuzz out things they know about, so there's that. But we know about it. We're smart enough to know what that is.
But the main thing is those giants, they move all the time, so they constantly, next year, they got to fuzz it out again somewhere else.
Shocked at thinking that the Solomon Islands were bigger at some time and had pyramids out on the end that got submerged. Nothing about that seems fantastic or far-fetched to me. And here's why, because I know they have pyramids on them. I've seen and found pyramids on the Solomon Islands, so I know they're there. So the fact that I ran into them submerged in the surf would not be a shock. Again,
well, they say King Solomon fled from Egypt there, so, and in Egypt he was known for these ancient walls. So there's ancient walls in Solomon Islands. So
you're not in the picture, sir.
Oh, it disappeared? I can see you, man. So
I can see you, but you're out of the picture for me.
Oh, man. All right, well, then we'll just cut this. Everybody, it's a wrap.
I see your eye, though.
Oh, it's a wrap. And we found pyramids, actually. Joe found pyramids. And that's amazing stuff, Joe. And
man, it's pretty cool. We're just putting God out there, and, you know, we think that's what it is. We're not trying to say written in stone that's what it is, but you know what I'm saying? I found a bunch of pyramids, and I'll say that, and I will put it on record that I believe, in my opinion, that's what they are. But, you know, we're not we're not experts, but, man, I would look at it, you know? So anyway, we're glad that everybody joined us, and this is an awesome show.
Make sure you subscribe, everybody. Until next time.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.